comfortable in the platform. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Don't hesitate to come on video and ask questions. But what's very important is your background should be noise free. Your background should be noise free, and that's it. Otherwise, everything else should be fine. So let me try to keep things as simple as possible so that you could quickly understand this subject. Okay. So please confirm. Can you see my slide, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Measuring baseline performance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there are different ways by which you can measure the baseline performance, nothing but current capability of the process. The capability in the sense, it is the ability of your process to meet your customer requirement, right? We are going to quantify the ability. There are several ways. You can use a metric known as yield, which is nothing but the success rate. Imagine you produce 100 units. Out of the 100 units, 90 units are accepted in the quality checking, right? But 10 units got rejected. That means how much is your yield now? 90%. Because 90 out of 100 is acceptable. There are no problems. But remaining 10, there are some issues. So that is considered failure. But 90 are okay. So this is what is yield. But what you all need to know is within the yield, we have three types. A traditional yield, first pass yield, and then rolled throughput yield. You should be able to differentiate all of them and use them wisely. Whenever you want to measure the baseline performance in terms of the yield, you should know which is best and then you should adopt it. Now, another way you can measure baseline is DPMO, which we already learned on day number 1 itself, defects per million opportunities. We did an exercise where we had some sample product and we defined CTQs. We measured we checked the defects, documented it, and we calculated the DPMO and the respective sigma level. We understood that. And what is that we are going to learn additionally today is Cp and Cpk. This is predominantly used in manufacturing industries, but it can be used in other industries as well. The only requirement is the data type must be a continuous data, right? So the data type must be a continuous data. If you are measuring your capability with respect to a measurable characteristics, you are measuring your capability with respect to a measurable characteristics, then you can use Cp and Cpk, right? Otherwise, DPMO will do, and then your yield will do. But say, for example, your process has to maintain a diameter of 100 plus or minus 0.5. Now, how capable your process is with respect to maintaining a diameter of 100 plus or minus 0.5. Let's say you have a process where the turnaround time should be less than 40 minutes. How much capable your process is with respect to the turnaround time requirement of 40 minutes. So something similar to that, right? So that's what we are going to understand here. Now, traditional yield, the formula is very simple. Imagine there is a process. Let us say it is a kind of banking process. 100 transaction is happening. Out of the 100 transaction, 10 transactions got failed. You all might know what is, failed transaction. Just imagine like you are making payment through GPay. Out of 100 transaction, 10 transaction failed. That means how many transactions succeeded? 90. Very simple. 90 transactions are successful. Now you just have to calculate the yield here. Now what will be the yield? What will be the yield? The formula is available here. Out of every 100 transaction, 90 transactions are successful. That means the yield is 90%. I think this is very, very simple tool to understand. All right. You can use it in service industry. You can use it in manufacturing industry. Let's say, let's say 100 units you produced, and out of that 10 units got rejected. Or customer raised 100 tickets, and your company has a policy of closing the tickets within a stipulated time. Out of the 190 tickets got closed properly, but 10 tickets you are not able to close within the stipulated time. Now, what is your success rate? In all cases, 90%. All of it, you understand how to calculate traditional yield?
Yes, sir.
Very simple, right?
Yeah.
Very, very simple. You might be using it already. But now, I'm going to take you through another interesting tool, which is known as first pass yield. Earlier, when we talked about traditional yield, we are just measuring our success rate. But here we are now going to measure our success rate right at the first time. Right at the first time, right? The first run itself, what is our success rate? Let me show you. There are 100 transactions. But what happens out of the 100 transaction, 30 transaction, there was a delay. But after the delay, some of the transactions got successful, become successful. But even after all the efforts, still 10 transactions got failed. Now, what do you think is your yield in this scenario? Come on, make a guess. What do you think is your yield?
60 divided by 100. 60%.
Yeah. How did you arrive on the 60? Because there are in your successful transaction, 30 transaction, there was rework happening.
Yeah. So
Isn't
60
it?
minus 30
30
minus.
of the transaction, yes, there was a delay. Delay itself is a failure. And why there is a delay? Something went wrong. So an attention is required, some correction is required. As a result, you achieved a 90%. But it doesn't mean that your yield is 90%. Your yield is actually 60% only. But we over projected the yield. Imagine you writing an exam, and then if 100 students are writing the exam, if 90 people pass, then the pass percentage is 90%. But after analyzing the data, we understand that 30 of the students passed the exam in the second attempt. That means what is your yield in the first attempt? In the first attempt, if you only consider the first attempt, there are only 60% of the students who passed. The remaining 30% were given an extra chance. And in the extra chance only, the additional 30% have cleared. So we need to understand the difference between the traditional yield and the first pass yield. So for the same scenario, the traditional yield is 90%, but the first pass yield is 60%. If you understand it properly, you will also be able to understand the opportunity for improvement that exists. Otherwise, you might think that everything is going well by seeing the 90%. What you have seen as 90% is not 90%. It is actually 60%. You will come to this understanding only if you understand rework itself is a failure. Isn't it? Or if rework is happening any format, that should be treated as the failure only. But of course, we do rework to make up our requirement and our target. But our goal should be to do things right at the first time. Hope all of you understand the difference between the traditional yield and the first pass yield. If there is any doubt, please get it clarified. Will you be able to use these tools properly in your process? Yes?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And out of the two, which gives the realistic performance of your process? The traditional yield or the first pass yield?
Mostly
First pass yield.
first pass yield only.
First pass yield. Hereafter, always ask for the first pass yield. Don't just settle with the traditional yield, right? So if you simply settle with the traditional yield and no, you will not be able to understand the amount of rework that is happening, right? So the situation is 60%. Now there could be another scenario where your processes might be connected in sequence. Like for example, the output of the first process becomes the input for the next process. The same manner it goes. Then the output of the second process becomes the input for the third process, and then the final output. Now imagine you have three processes: machining, and then welding, and then finally, let us say grinding. Machining, welding, grinding. Or you can think of any other process also. Let's say the applications are scrutinized, and then some verification is done, and then the decision is taken. There are three stages, right? Something like a banking operation. So whatever it is, there are three stages: P1, P2, P3. Imagine at P1, the first pass yield is 90%. At P2, the first pass yield is 80%. Then at P3, the first pass yield is 70%. Now my interest is what will be the overall yield? What will be the overall yield? So now if you want to calculate the overall yield, it is nothing but the formula is final output divided by initial input. Final output divided by the initial input. How much is the final output here?
70%.
In terms of percentage, it is 70. In terms of count, will you be able to tell what will be the number of output?
70.
70.
No. See here, 100 units. Imagine you produce 100 units. Now, what is your yield here? 90%, right?
Yeah.
So, how much will come out? Only 90 units will come out. These 90 units will become input to the second process. Clear, all of you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, now the 90 unit goes through the P2. What is the yield at P2? 80%. Can you tell me 80% of 90? What is 80% of 90?
72.
72.
72. That 72 becomes input to the third process. Now 70% of the 70% of the 72 will be the final output, which is around 50.4. So your final output is only 50.4. Initial input is 100. So what is your overall yield or the rolled throughput yield? Only 50.4%. You can't see the 50.4 anywhere here. Everywhere it is 90, 80, 70. But P3, imagine you responsible for the overall result. And you have got, your team members working on P1, P2, P3. But P1, P2, P3 are connected. In such a scenario, your result is only this one, 50.4. How do we get this? By multiplying the yield of all the three processes. While multiplying, you need to multiply the way it is, illustrated here. 0.9 multiplied by 0.8 multiplied by 0.7. So it is 50.4%. All of you, do you understand the difference here? When do we use this? When the processes are connected in sequence. All right?
Got it.
Okay. So if there are any questions, please ask. If there are any questions, please ask. Otherwise, any questions?
No, sir. It's clear.
No questions, right? So give me a
No,
moment.
sir.
I'll show you an exercise sheet which you all can do it on your own. You got the booklet, but I'll tell you what you need to do. So an exercise based on the yield, and then only you will be able to better understand. Yeah. Can you all see our book cover? You can see, right?
Yes, we can.
So now, see here, there is and activity 6. Sorry, activity 6, activity 7, and then finally activity 8. So activity 8 talks about traditional yield, first pass yield, and RTY, which is at page number 46. We're only going to discuss, and then you are going to work out on your own, and then we'll discuss the same while meeting this weekend. Please try to complete all the exercise, try to spend enough time. Otherwise, you will not be able to derive the benefit from the program. Simply listening to me, yes, you might get a feel like, you are understanding. But then unless and until you work, it will be difficult. So 6, coming to 7, and then coming to 8. Yeah. See here, the first part. In a process of inflating tires on scooters in an assembly, a study revealed that 360 tires went through the tire inflation process during a day's production. And 354 were later found to have the pressure within the required spec. So what are they telling? 360 tires are inflated. The pressure must be as per the specification. When they actually check for the tire pressure before assembly, how many tires are found to be okay? 354.
354.
That means 6 tires, there were some problem. Now, tire after inflation is immediately inspected to ensure it meets the specification. The inspection detected 94 tires that do the specification. 94 tires did not comply the specification. And out of the 90, they corrected 84.
88.
But 6, they could not bring it back. So all of you, do you understand out of the 94, 88 corrected. But 6, they are not able to correct. And so the tires are not fit for the assembly. So it has to be scrapped or cannot be used. Now, do you understand the scenario? What is the total number of units produced?
360.
360.
360.
And then acceptable units?
354.
354.
350.
But within that 354, how many units got reworked?
88.
88
No, 94.
got reworked. Overall, how many units got rejected?
6.
94.
6. 6 got rejected.
Yeah.
See, out of 94, 88, you accepted. The last 6, you are not able to do anything, that you got rejected. Now the numbers are clear?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Now you need to calculate the traditional yield and the first pass yield. Maybe you can do little max and let me know immediately. What will be your numbers for calculating traditional yield? One of you tell me.
So the output and the input.
Output by input.
What is your output number?
354.
Divided by 3.
354.
354 divided by
360.
360. Whatever is the number you are getting, that is the traditional yield. Tell me how much it is.
98.33.
Very good. 98.
0.98.
In terms of percentage, it is 98.36 or something. All of you are with me? You got the answer?
Yes, sir.
Everybody is able to calculate?
Yes, this is
Very good. So now the traditional yield is understood. Now for the same scenario, you are the manager, and now I want you to calculate the first pass yield. And tell me the percentage for first pass yield. How will you calculate the first pass yield now?
Total output like 360 minus initially like we have got 6 failures. And after that like it is
Yes, you said 6, it becomes 94.
94. So 100.
So
Totally
it becomes
100.
354. Sorry, it becomes 354. See here, 6 got rejected. So units, the output is only 354. Out of the 354, how many got reworked?
90,
88.
88.
88 got
88.
reworked. So 354 minus 88.
Divided by
How much it is? 354 minus 88. How much it is?
266. 266.
You divide that 266, 354 minus 88, divided by the total. The total is 360. Put it in the chat box. 354 minus 88 divided by 360. So what is the number you are getting? That is your first pass yield.
73.8.
See here, for the same scenario, your yield is, traditional yield is 98%. But first pass yield is how much? 70?
3.8.
So, which is letting you to understand the improvement opportunity? The first pass yield.
Yes.
If you have the habit of calculating only traditional yield and then taking decision, you will not be able to understand the improvement opportunity. You might think that everything is going well, but actually the point is your performance is only 73 or 74%, whatever it comes. All of you understand the reason for using first pass yield?
Yes, yes, sir.
Very good. So here after always try to consider the first pass yield. So now there are 4 process A, process B, process C, process D. Process A, the input is 734. The units produced is 698 output. Reworked 16. Scrapped unit 36. You can easily understand now the relationship, right? The output produced and the scrapped. When I add together, you get the input. Can you see here? 698 plus 36. 734. That is true everywhere. 655 plus 43, 698. So now the point is, yeah, the scrapped units are here. Now you need to calculate the first pass yield. Now what is your formula now?
Output minus rework divided by input.
That's all. Output divided minus rework divided by the input.
rework divided by input.
Very good. So now first case is 698 minus rework is 16. Then you have to divide that value by 734. That will be your first pass yield. That will be your first pass yield.
92.91.
Okay, that you can write here. Same manner, you can write the first pass yield for the process B, first pass yield for the process C, then first pass yield for the process D. In this manner, you can write. In case, and see, you can see the answers here. If you are getting these kind of yield for A, B, C, and D, then the rolled throughput yield can be obtained by multiplying all the yield, isn't it? You remember we already studied. You multiply all the 4 and that gives you 983.22. So similarly, there is one more which you can do. A, B, C, and D. The first pass yield is available. You just have to find out the rolled throughput yield. Tell me, how will you calculate the rolled throughput yield here?
Multiplication of
Final out.
Multiplying all the percentage step.
Very good. Multiplying all the first pass yield. So 0.9, but while multiply in this manner. 0.95 multiplied by 0.93, multiplied by 0.99, multiplied by 0.99. So I think now you all can complete this particular activity. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Activity
Yes.
number 8. Please do solve all of this in your workbook and then we'll verify it. So any doubts? Everything is perfect.
Yes.
Sir, in that the scrapped
Yes.
one that we need to account, or because the separate column mentioned as scrapped 36, 43 like that in the second.
I will show it again. So here, right? Tell me which one here.
No, in the second, so they mentioned one is reworked for 16, 7, 3, 10. The next column it is
yes.
mentioned as 36 like that. So whether we need to consider
Yes.
this scrap also or it is separate.
Yeah. See, after accounting the scrap only, the output is calculated. Can you see here? 734 minus scrap 36. So the balance output is 698. Can you see here?
Yes, yes.
So if you are taking this, that means you already subtracted the scraps. Now the rework only should be subtracted, and so that you get the first pass yield. Done?
Okay.
Sir, so the
Yes.
Kishore here.
Very
So
good.
I joined little late, sir. I have one doubt.
Yes, Kishore.
Sir, regarding for you mentioned one formula for RTY equal to final output minus total rework units divided by initial input. So can you explain it once again? This one I not
Yeah. No, that is written as illustration purpose.
Okay.
You can calculate that way also. See, when you have sequence of process, the
Okay.
final output is how much for you?
645.
Okay. And initial input?
734.
734. And while producing this 645, how many units you reworked actually?
Total 10, 36.
Yeah. So all this 36 you need to subtract from 645.
Okay. So what is the difference between that RTY and then the process 3? I mean,
Same. Different roots, but the end point is same.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it is same only. All right. Now I want all of you to use the sigma level calculator and complete the activity number 7. Sigma level calculator, you remember I have shared one Excel file. Am I correct? Have I shared or not?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Sigma level calculator version 7, right? I'm going to use that right now. You can also parallelly use, and that will help us understand, the conversion between DPMO and sigma level and all of this. See here, 500 health reports from a diagnostic laboratory were inspected for 5 different characteristics before dispatch. 500 reports. In each report, how many characteristics are appearing? 5 characteristics. All of you, do you understand?
Yes,
Your
sir.
sugar level, your cholesterol level, likewise, 5 details are available. So what is the defect? What is the opportunities here? Number of opportunities?
500.
No, opportunity per report is 5.
5.
And you have 500 report. When I ask you total opportunity, then only you should say 500 into 5, 2500. But now opportunities per report is 5.
5.
Clear?
Yes.
See here, opportunities for error 5. Sample, how many reports we checked? 500 sample.
500 reports.
Now, after verifying 500 sample, how many defects you noticed? 224. With the help of this information, you should calculate DPMO, calculate sigma level. Now, I want you to remember these 3 numbers. What are the 3 numbers? 224, 500, and 5.
500.
Yeah, now I will open the file so that we can check how to calculate the DPMO and the sigma level. So let me get the sigma level calculator. Yeah. So similar Excel file I have shared with all of you. Yeah. I think this has brought me. See here, there is one sheet named as discrete data situation. Now, first situation 1. Do you think the situation 1 is exactly matching with our situation? Yes or no? All of you can see my Excel file?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Opportunities for error. How many opportunities of errors? 5.
5.
Now, how many sample reports you have checked? 500.
500.
After checking 500 reports, how many defects you observed?
224.
I just enter these details in the blue color forward, cell. I give enter. Now, what is the DPMO?
89,600.
600. Now, DPMO is known. Sigma level, short-term sigma level is 1.34. Sorry, short-term sigma level is 2.84. Long-term sigma level is 1.34. Always there will be a difference of 1.5. You know the reason, 1.5, isn't it? Sigma shift, process will shift in long term, and so there is a difference. All of you, now will you be able to calculate the DPMO for similar situation?
Yes, sir.
Imagine
Yes, sir.
you have a product in your company. Your quality inspectors are checking 10 characteristics in your product. How many characteristics? 10 characteristics.
10 characters.
Now, your quality inspectors have taken a sample of, let us say, 300 pieces. Sample is 300 pieces. Now they found, let's say, 134 defects. Now I want you to calculate the DPMO. Will you be able to calculate?
Yeah.
What should I do now here in this cell? Tell me. In
34.
defects column, how much I should type?
134.
134. In the sample?
300.
300.
300. In the defect
300.
opportunity?
10. 10.
Now what is your DPMO?
44,600.
Sigma level 3.2. Very simple, right?
Yes.
Very good. Now, another scenario. Now, imagine your quality inspector checked 1,000 units. After checking 1,000 units, they rejected 45 units. If they reject 45 units, how do we call those 45 units? We call those 45 units as defectives. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So I go to situation 3. Defectives observed or units rejected or number of defectives 45. Number of units inspected 1,000.
1,000.
So in this scenario, the yield is 95.5 and DPMO is 45,000 and ZST is 3.2. Can you see here, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, suppose if I check 5,000 pieces and get 242 rejected, now my 8,400. Do you understand when to use situation 3? When to
Yes.
use situation 3? When you are counting defectives. Counting defectives is different from counting defects. Hope all of you have the clarity, right?
Yes, sir.
Counting defectives is different from counting defects. Defective means the item is rejected. Defective item means the item is rejected. But number of defects has got a different meaning. So for defects, use situation 1. For defectives, use situation 3. Situation 2, suppose in a scenario, if the defect opportunity is not informed to you, suppose in the exam or in any situation, let's say the company is not willing to reveal the defect opportunities. But they have this information out of 3,467 defects observed. Now we will simply assume the defect opportunity is 1 and based on that the calculation is done here, right? So situation 2 you can use if OFE is unknown. Unknown means it will be assumed as 1. Let me try here. 467, 3,000
1.
and here make it 1. So almost close answer is coming. Anyway, this is rounded here. That is why the problem is, right? We should not round it. It should be exactly without rounding. It should be 0.156. Then we will get the matching. And now we got close answer. Yes, fine. Now we got, right? So nothing to worry. So that means when defect opportunity is not given, we consider opportunity for a defect as 1. Is it clear, all of you, how to use the Excel sheet I have demonstrated? Now, what you people are going to do is, you people are going to do it yourself, right? And I will only share the particular activity. See here, activity, first activity we have discussed. Now, 1000 televisions were inspected. 116 defects found. What is the sigma level? Now, which situation will you go? Situation 1, 2, or 3?
Situation 2.
2. They are talking about defects, but opportunity for defect is not given. So go to situation 2, fill up, and then get the details. Now, third question. 1000 garments were inspected. 31 were defective. What is the sigma level? What is this situation about?
Situation 3.
Situation 3. Very simple. Otherwise, it's not that difficult. You just have to key in the data. It will give the output. Now, question number 4. Sorry. Laptops are being inspected. Laptops are being inspected to check whether the following components are functional: RAM, motherboard, screen, hard disk, Bluetooth, DVD drive, and memory slot. How many features they are checking in a laptop?
7.
7.
So opportunities for error is 7. Now 500 laptops are inspected. 119 defects are observed. Now
Situation 1.
Situation 1.
the ISA test, which is short-term sigma level.
3.33.
Will you be able to find out? 3.56. So some of you are working out parallelly, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Very good. But all of you, please do this. Then only you will be able to handle scenarios, different scenarios, particularly the exam questions. Thousands of questions can be framed. But the beauty is, if you know how to Excel, all thousands of questions you can answer. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Imagine, let's say in our training program, there are 30 participants. Imagine 30 participants are writing an exam. And each question paper contains 50 questions. Each of you got a question paper in which how many questions are there? 50 questions. Now you can write all the questions correctly, or you can answer some of the questions wrongly also. If you answer wrongly, it will be a defect. All right? 30
Yes.
participants, 30 participants, they are writing exam, and each exam question paper has got 50 questions. That means opportunities for error is
50.
50. Number of sample is 30. 30 samples, isn't it? 30 participants.
Yes.
And each participant is writing an exam where there are 50 questions. And now, after completion of the exam, we found that 125 questions are answered. No, 125 answers are wrong. Considering all of you, as a single batch. After going through all your test papers, 125 answers are wrong. And the scenario is understood. Now, do you think you will be able to calculate the DPMO and sigma level and everything for this?
Yes.
Yes.
What should be the scenario you should use now?
It's a
Which
situation
scenario you
1.
should use?
Situation 1.
Situation 1.
Question 1.
Let me show you. Situation 1. See here. How many questions answered wrongly by all of you as a batch? 125.
125.
Number of samples, 30 students. And opportunities, each exam paper got 50 questions. I type all of these and then give enter. Now, can you see the DPMO? 83,333. Can you see the sigma level? 2.88. Your job of doing all the calculation is made simple by using the template. But definitely once you are comfortable with all the concept, you can make your own template also. You can start looking at the formula and everything later on. Right now, use template, and then you can handle situation. All right. So all of you are following me properly?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, phone calls, it is in a call center. Phone calls are recorded at call center and later evaluated. A sample of 200 calls are heard by the quality representative and evaluated based on a call quality checklist. There are 14 items or 14 opportunities for error in each of the call according to the checklist. Now 284 defects were observed in a sample of 200 calls. Now tell me, what is the opportunity for error here?
14.
14. Number of samples?
200.
200. Number of defects?
284.
284.
Now, if you type all of these numbers, you should get EZST. It's not that difficult, right?
Yes.
The question looks difficult, but for us, it is, nothing. We are going to type the input and get the output. So similar scenario might exist in your workplace also. Right? And you can straight away calculate the capability in terms of sigma level, in terms of DPMO. You can also find out the yield also. Now, finally, last question, the 7th question. 2,000 dishes are inspected, 42 are defectives. What is the situation?
Situation 3.
Situation number.
Situation 3.
3.
Very, very simple, right? So type the things and you will get the answer. Are we good so far?
Yes,
Now
sir.
you are thorough with yield. Yes. So far, good, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Traditional yield, first pass yield, throughput yield. You know the difference and you know which is better and you know which one to be used for a particular scenario. Similarly, DPMO calculation, sigma level conversion, if opportunity for error is known, if opportunity for error is unknown, if the number of defectives are given, yes, you can do it. All right. So now we are proceeding to one more tool, which we have planned for the day. And then we can close the meeting. Now, if this might look little difficult, but actually not. Maybe by paying attention with a little more care, you can easily understand the Cp and Cpk also. So the Cp and Cpk is widely used in manufacturing industries, but it is applicable in other industries as well. It is applicable in other industries as well. What needs to be understood is if the characteristics you are measuring is a continuous data, then CP/CPK is applicable straight away. Imagine you are responsible for maintaining a cycle time for a particular process within a range. You can use CP/CPK there. Imagine you have to maintain, let us say, you have to onboard employees within 10 days. You have to onboard employees within 10 days. Now, this is also a continuous data only. Upper specification is 10 days. Lower specification can be as low as 0 day or 1 day. So, whenever you can understand the upper spec and lower spec, And if your data is measurable, you can use Cp, Cpk, right? So now there are two metrics, Cp, another one is Cpk. Both are in general known as process capability indices. But the first one, this is known as potential process capability ratio. But the second one is known as process capability index. All of you, do you remember our car parking example? You remember
Yes.
our car parking example? Yeah. If the car size and road size are equal, your process is just capable. Your car size and road size are equal. Car is your process. Road is your customer provided tolerance. Look at the numerator. USL minus LSL, customer provided tolerance, size of the road, divided by size of the car, 6 sigma. Upper control limit minus lower control limit. That is the process spread. I hope all of you remember upper control limit and lower control limit. Am I right? The distance between upper control limit and lower control limit is equal to 6 sigma. So the size of the road and size of the car, if they are equal, your process is considered just capable. Your process is considered just capable. But if the road size is bigger than the car, then your car can go very smoothly, isn't it?
Yes.
Those scenario, Cp will be more than 1. Cp equal to 1 means car and road are equal size. But Cp more than 1 means either the car is smaller than the road, or the car is smaller than the road. But if the car is smaller than the road, do you think always the car will go through the road without hitting the walls? Still, there is a chance for your car hitting the walls or your car moving away from the road. Imagine a person drunken is driving your small down to uh, possible, right?
Sir, excuse me,
No.
the voice got break. It's only for me or everyone?
No, it's for everyone.
It's breaking.
No,
For
it was-
everyone.
It was still breaking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll repeat. Is it okay now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. I was saying you have a car smaller than the road. Now you can drive the car in.
Sir, again,
Again breaking, sir. Again, the voice is not clear.
sir, unable to hear you.
Yeah, I got disconnected. Now I came back.
Okay, sir. It's audible now.
So this is the problem with online sometimes. That too, I'm a remote place. That's why connectivity is also bad. I think I have shared my screen again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was trying to help you understand the difference between Cp and Cpk, or why two metrics are developed. By giving a simple example, like, let's say your parking area and your car. If your car is smaller, will you be able to park the car easily?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That means your Cp will be always more than 1. Your Cp will be always more than 1. Where car size is smaller than the parking area. But now I ask a question. If I give you a smaller car, does it mean you always park the car safely, or is there a chance for damage? Come on, one of you should answer. Your
Chance
car
for
is
damage.
smaller than the parking area. Does it mean your car will never get damaged?
No.
there
Or
is a possibility for the
There's
damage.
still a possibility.
Possibility.
still a possibility. Your Cp doesn't measure that possibility. So in order to, what is that possibility? Suppose if I purposely take the car towards left, I may hit the left side wall.
Yes.
If I move towards right, I may hit the right side wall. So the center of the car should also needs to be monitored in addition to the size of the car. That is why another tool is introduced, which is known as CPK. You see here, CPK takes the center of the car, which is X bar, process average, and right side wall, USL. So whichever is minimum, that is assigned to CPK. Let us understand this in detail. Okay. See here, there is a scenario. Upper spec is how much? 50. Lower spec is 30. Upper control limit 46. Lower control limit 34. Process average is 40.
Okay.
So this is the situation. Now I want to know whether my process is capable or not. Now tell me, you calculate CP. The formula is here, USL minus LSL divided by UCL minus LCL. Now CP equal to 1.67. Now tell me, is this process capable?
Yes.
Come on, guys.
Yes.
The process is capable because we see the complete process lying inside the specification. You see here? And moreover, CP value is also more than 1.1. Currently, it is 1.67. The industry standard is CP and Cpk should be at least 1.67. And so the process is capable. Now, for the same scenario, now it is like, having a car smaller than the parking area. Now I change the driver. Now the driver is a new person who don't know how to drive. Now you see what happened. Earlier, the earlier driver, he was driving exactly at the center. Am I right? But now the new driver, where is he driving? He shifted to the right side. All of you, can you understand here?
Yes.
As a result, your control limit has gone beyond the specification limit. That means the right side portion of your car is scratching with the wall. Now damage started happening. In this scenario, I once again calculate CP. Look at the CP. How much is your USL? 50.
50.
How much is your LSL? 34.
34.
Now, how much is your upper spec and lower spec? Let us imagine the earlier upper spec was 46, right? So 46 to 34, the difference is 12. Now you see here, the same process completely shifted to the right side. But look at the width of the process. The width of the process is same, 12 only. Look here, earlier also it was 12. You see here, that means the distance between UCL and LCL is 12. After shifting also, it remains 12. Now I calculate the ratio 20 by 12. It is 1.67 now also. 1.67 means process should be capable. But you look at this process. Is it really capable or some rejections are happening?
Some rejections are happening.
You can easily see some rejections happening here. You can easily see some rejections happening here. Do you know where is the rejection? Yes.
After USL, there is a rejection.
Exactly. Okay. So exactly in this region, there is a rejection happening actually. In this region, there is a rejection happening. That means if you use the CP, you will not be able to understand the real capability. The number shows as if, the process is capable because always when CP is more than, theoretically, more than one is capable. Theoretically, more than one is capable. But the industry standard is 1.67 for critical process, 1.33 for non-critical process. Now tell me, like I was saying the other day, imagine your salary is 1 lakh. Your monthly expense also 1 lakh. Now, are you capable? Just
Yes.
capable,
Just.
right? The earnings and expense are exactly same. But if your expenses are reduced to half of your earnings, then your process is doubly capable, right? Process is doubly capable. So we always want a capability higher than 1. At least 1.33 for non-critical process, 1.67 for critical process. And over and above, we also understood the process can shift either to the right or left. So the shifted process we have seen. So now we realize CP is not a correct indicator of process capability whenever your process undergoes a shift. So whenever your process undergoes a shift, you must use CPK. So because CP has got a limitation, because CP doesn't understand whether the process is centered properly or not. So now we introduce CPK. Please note, all of you, CPK is derived from CP only. See here, the whole specification width is divided into 2 parts. Can you see here? Half of the specification is indicated in blue color. Half of the specification is indicated in green color. All of you, can you understand? Earlier, can you see the specification width? Entire specification between USL and LSL. Now in the second diagram, what I did is, I divided the specification width into half portion in blue color, half portion in green color. Now what will be the length of blue color bar? Distance between USL and X bar. Am I right? You see here. Come on, you can keep saying yes, then only I could understand. No, you are able to follow me.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes.
Similarly, the green color bar, the length of the green color bar is X bar here, LSL here. So the difference between X bar and LSL is the length of the green bar. If the process is centered properly, then the length of the blue bar will be equal to length of the green bar. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Very good. Now I want you to calculate a ratio. The specification we divided into 2 parts. Similarly, process width also you divide into 2 parts. Always the width of any process is equal to 6 sigma. When I divide that into 2 parts, 6 sigma will divide into 3 sigma on the right side, 3 sigma on the left side. You can easily understand this also. Now find out the ratio on the right side. USL minus X bar divided by 3 sigma. This ratio will be equal to X bar minus LSL by 3 sigma. All of you are with me? The ratio on the right side will be equal to a ratio on the left side. This is true as long as your process is centered properly. See here, where here the process is centered, I am calculating the right side ratio, CP upper, which is 1.66. I am also calculating left side ratio, which is also 1.66. Both are equal. That means I can take the minimum of the two. Since both are equal, the minimum is also 1.66. Now CPK is 1.66. Whenever you get CPK minimum 1.67, you can understand your process is capable, right? Don't look at CP, look at CPK. Now see here, I'm going to shift this process. Earlier, there is no shift there. Now, what is the answer? What is the value for CP? 1.66. What is the value for CPK? That is also 1.66. But when the process is shifted, what will be the value of CP? Still 1.66. But your process is not capable. That means CP is giving a wrong indication. So don't believe CP or don't use CP to understand the process capability. Use the CPK. Since the process is shifted, look at the revised values. CP upper, USL minus X bar divided by 3 sigma. 3 sigma is sigma equal to 2. So 3 sigma is 6. Look here, since the process is shifted by about 5 units, now blue bar reduced by 5 units, green bar increased by 5 units. So right side it is 5 by 6, left side it is 15 by 6. Now which side your process is shifted? Right side. So
Right.
CP upper is the minimum of the two. So that should be you considered as CPK. Since CPK is 0.833, which is lesser than the industry standard value of 1.66, the process is considered not capable. So you have two metrics. One is Cp, the other one is Cpk. Which is a real indicator of process capability? Cpk, not just Cp. Hereafter, if you want to understand the capability, just look at the Cpk, never look at Cp, right? So the decision rule, if the process, if Cpk is more than 1.66, if the condition is satisfied, process is capable as well as consistent. If the condition is not satisfied, process is definitely not capable. Definitely not capable means there will be rejection. However, consistency may or may not be there. But if you want to comment about the consistency, you can look at Cp. So what is the purpose of Cp? To understand consistency. But if you want to understand the capability, you must look at Cpk only. And one more requirement. If your process is operating at the best of its potential, then Cp will be equal to Cpk. Cp will be equal to Cpk. Whenever you see Cp different from Cpk, you can understand, you can improve the process further. You can improve it is you scoring mark, around 60 or 70. What is the maximum? Potential is up to 100. But you scored only 60. So you can further improve. Right? That is the idea. And now let's do some exercise. You will be able to better understand. All of you, do you understand what is CP-CPK?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
CP is known as potential process capability ratio. Don't forget to use the word potential because it is not giving the real capability. It is only giving potential capability. The real capability is given by CPK. So CPK should be called as process capability index, but CP should be called as potential process capability ratio. Now, a KPO is processing reimbursement received for their customer. The time to process a refund claim is 30 minutes. What is the upper spec? 30 minutes. Lower spec can be as low as 0. So we marked as 0. And customer expect 95% of the invoice should be processed within 30 minutes. Yes, of course. Now compute the CP-CPK. Mean transaction time of the process is 22.09. What is mean transaction time? X bar. See here, X bar. Process standard deviation 5.96, which means sigma. Now you have USL, you have LSL, you have X bar, you have sigma. Now I want you to use all this value and find out CP. What is the formula for CP? USL minus LSL by 6 sigma. Will you be able to substitute here?
Yes.
Again, I have the Excel template. No need to worry. You don't have to do anything. When you substitute here, your CP becomes 0.838. Now tell me, one of you or all of you, what do you understand by seeing CP of 0.838? Can you tell me? What is your understanding?
Not capable.
CP then the process is
More than
Process is not capable. I agree.
not capable, sir.
not capable.
Not capable.
Not capable as well as not consistent also.
Inconsistent. Yes.
Process
We
is
need to
highly
go to CPK.
inconsistent as well as not capable. So now CPK I calculate. Now my CPK is 0.442, which means my process is shifted to the right side. My process is shifted to the right side. Please note, always CPK will be lower than CP. Always CPK will be lower than CP. So CPK is 0.442. So CPK is clearly telling me process is not capable. CP is telling me process is not consistent. That means we are running a process in the very worst condition. It's not capable as well as it's not consistent. So now how will you correct this scenario? So see, if the process is not consistent as well as not capable, it means the results are, your team result is bad. At the same time, your team members are not willing to listen to you. We understand? This is what we call it as not capable and inconsistent also. They are not able to produce result. They are also not willing to listen to you. Now you have to first, what is that you should do first now? If your team members are not able to perform and they are not willing to listen, what is that first you will correct? Will you make them perform or will you make them listen to you?
Listen.
Listen.
That means you should first reduce the variation, make it consistent. Achieve the consistency first, and then you move the mean. So reduce variation, and then you try to move the mean closer to target. What is moving the mean? Moving the mean means the process perfect. Imagine there is a patient having a higher sugar level, diabetic patient. All of you know, right? Diabetic patient. So sugar level is very high. Sugar level is very high. Now the doctor has to give the treatment. You know how the doctor will give the treatment?
Oh, the
If
sugar.
you are a medical doctor, how will you investigate and how will you advise the patient?
Insulin by giving suitable medicine.
You straight away give medicine, right? You are not a good doctor.
Laboratory test.
To do the test
Blood
of
level.
sugar
Check up.
level.
Do the test. And even
Testing.
before doing the test, you will understand something. You must first understand daily routine of the patient, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Imagine I take chicken biryani all 3 times. Morning breakfast, lunch, dinner. And what will be my sugar level?
Very high.
Very high. So first thing is my daily routine has to be like a normal person. Am I right or not? As a doctor, first thing is we should first ensure the person's daily routine is stable. So let him eat anything. But then, it shouldn't be, of too much up and down. His lifestyle has to be stabilized. And after the doctor's advice, he started taking the breakfast at the particular time, lunch at the particular time, dinner at the particular time. Let's say he come to a habit of completing the dinner by 7 o'clock in the night. Right? By 7 o'clock in the night. And he also decided to, okay. So now certain things are stabilized and now the sugar level will give a realistic value of the sugar level of the particular patient. All of you agree with me? Otherwise, what happened? Monday, there will be one reading. Tuesday, there will be some other reading. Wednesday, there will be one more reading. There will be a lot of fluctuation and you will not be able to judge. So for that, what we did is, he first stabilized his calorie consumption throughout the week. All of you understand what I'm telling? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
After stabilizing for a certain period of time, now the treatment starts. Treatment either can be giving medicine or treatment can be changing your meal plan. Changing your meal plan. Now we have changed some meal plan. Your calories are reduced. Your calories are reduced and your workouts are increased. Your sleep hours are optimized. Your stress levels are optimized. Now what will happen to the sugar level? Come on, answer me. First 2 weeks, you stabilized your daily routine. And next 2 weeks, we started working on the factors. We reduced your calorie consumption. We increased your exercising. Now what will happen to the sugar level?
The sugar level will be in same level, or average level will be in the same, near to the mean level.
If you consume less calories, do you think your sugar level will be at the same level?
No. Sugar level
It will reduce, sir. It will reduce.
variation of the
It should
value.
reduce. See, I told you, first 2 or 3 weeks, you stabilize your daily routine. You don't have to change any, your meal plan or anything, but you stabilize. Stabilize in the sense, the time for the breakfast is fixed, the time for the lunch is fixed, dinner is fixed, and whatever, you could normally do, you do normally. Let's say you are going for some little walk, some walking, you do all of this. We studied how your body is behaving for about, let's say, 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Now the reading is a real reflection of your sugar level. Now we think about some treatment. The treatment is possibility of reducing the calories, possibility of increasing your exercise, right? And all these changes we have done. Now next 3 weeks, your sugar level is found to go down. Agreed, all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
This is called moving the mean closer to the target. Your sugar level is shifting downwards. That is your target, right?
Yes.
The target is to reduce the sugar level. Now I move. So this is what we statistically call it as move the mean. Whenever your CPK is under trouble, you must try to move the mean. Whenever your CP is under trouble, you must reduce the variation. When both are under trouble, first focus should be on reducing variation. It is like, your team is not listening to you. First, make them listen to you. Right? And then give them some advice. If they are not in a position to listen to you, you still give advice, they will know it will not be helpful. So this is what it is. Now another scenario. An electronic manufacturing company, the specification for the current flow is 100 plus or minus 10 milliampere. That means upper spec is 110, lower spec is 90. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
The process mean is 107. Process standard deviation is 1.5. Compute Cp/Cpk. Just blindly use the formula QSL minus LSL by 6 sigma. What is your Cp? 2.22. Now one of you or all of you, you can tell me what do you understand by seeing a Cp of 2.22?
Very capable. Capable, sir.
No, you have not listened to me very carefully. When by looking at Cp, you can only comment about consistency. Process is highly consistent, highly stable. I don't know whether it is capable or not.
Capable, sir.
To comment about the capability, you must look at CPK. So calculate CPK. Minimum of CP upper, CP lower. So we have two value. Out of the two value, which one we should take? The minimum or the maximum?
Minimum.
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 So now look at your CP. CP is 0.66. So your process is not capable,
Not
but
capable.
highly consistent.
Not capable and not consistent.
No, consistent. You see 2.22 is consistent, highly consistent.
Yes.
So
Okay,
there
sir.
is nothing to do with the variation. Only problem is you should shift the mean. Move the mean close to the target. Move the mean close to the target. This is the remedy. Similar scenario. This time it is an extrusion die, aluminum rod. The specification should be 0.5035 plus or minus 0.0010. USL, LSL are understood. They are written here. Process average is 0.5031. Standard deviation 0.0003. Calculate Cp/Cpk. Same formula. Cp equal to 1.11. Cpk equal to 0.66. Now Cp 1.11 means our requirement is 1.67. Requirement is 1.67 for critical process. So consistency wise also there is a problem. At least if it is less critical, also 1.33 required. But 1 is never accepted. So as far as the consistency also not sufficient, so reduce variation. And Cp value 0.66. Capability is also a problem, so move the mean. Hope it is understood, all of you.
Yes, understood.
After calculating Cp/Cpk. Now tell me, what is your suggestion now? For a process Cp equal to 0.94, Cpk equal to 0.33. Now you tell me whether this process is capable or whether this process is consistent. Tell me what is your
Not
conclusion?
capable, sir. CP not capable.
Not capable,
Not
not
capable. How about consistency?
Consist also not of.
Inconsistent.
Is it? Consistency also problem. Look at the CP. If you want to know about consistency, look at the CP. How much we want? 1.67. So consistency, it's not consistent. It's not capable. So what are the actions you should take? You must reduce the variation first. You must first reduce the variation. Next, you must move the mean towards the target. Hope you understand all of this. This is what I wanted to discuss with all of you. We talked about yield. DPMO we already discussed, and today we practiced something. And now CP/Cpk. For critical process, CP/Cpk must be minimum 1.67. For non-critical process, they must be minimum 1.33.
1.33.
Very good. Now there is an exercise you all have to do for the CP/Cpk also. I will just show you with your workbook. I mean, with our activity sheet. So I am just sharing. So this is activity number.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Sure.
Sir, to move the mean, which side we need to move, whether it is left or right? How we should calculate that?
That you must look at your CPK, upper or lower. Which one has gone down, you should find out. There are two things we calculate, no? For example, see here. CP upper is how much here? 0.66. Can you see here?
Yes.
CP lower,
Okay,
3.77. So which is under trouble? Upper is under trouble or lower is under trouble?
Upper.
That means your process is shifted to the right. Now you have to push it towards left. All right. See now, this problem you all have to do. Again, sigma level calculator, Excel file can do the job for you. But here manually it is explained. Same problem only. You see here, whatever I explained in the, what you call, slide, PPT, the same thing is given here in the form of working extrusion die. And this one is electronic manufacturing process. And then this table format, different scenario, you all can practice. See here, I have given CP value, CPK value. Now tell me, for CP equal to 2, do you think your process is stable? Come on, tell me.
Stable.
Yes, you must write yes here.
Stable.
Now, I want to know whether your process is capable. Look at the number and tell me, is your process capable?
Not capable. No.
Not
CPK is
capable.
Beautiful, beautiful. You have understood the subject. Now, what is the action needed? Your CPK is under trouble. What is the action needed?
Move the medium.
reduce
Very
variation.
good, fantastic.
mean.
You have learned the subject. And no action is needed with respect to the variation because CP is healthy. Only CPK is under trouble. Now,
CPK.
yeah. Now, just remember some numbers. I'll show you how to use the CP/Cpk. So this is sigma level calculator. Where is CP/Cpk calculator? Here. Can you see CP/Cpk calculator, all of you? Can you see my CP/Cpk calculator here?
Yes.
So here, do you have any question with you? Upper spec, lower spec? Or the first question, let it be this question. 100.5 upper spec. It is already typed there. Lower spec 99.5. I think this is also a question we have discussed. See here, for a particular process, the specifications are 100 plus or minus 0.5. So upper spec is 100.5. Lower spec is 99.5. Now process average is calculated value 100.31. Process standard deviation is 0.05. I give all these value and then enter. Now, what is the CP you are getting? 3.33. CPK 1.26. Now tell me, is your process capable?
Not
Yes,
capable,
sir.
but stable.
Capable.
Not capable.
Not capable.
We need a minimum of 1.66 or 67. So process is not capable, but consistency, I don't have any problem.
Oh, okay.
Process
Okay.
is consistent.
Yes.
So now in this case, you just have to move the mean. You don't have to
Move the
do
mean to
anything for
reduce
the
variation. Yes.
variation. Yeah, you don't have to reduce variation because the variation is already less. Because it is 3.33 is more than 1.67. For any
More
other
than 1 point.
problem, if you want to solve, we can solve and then we can wind up today's class. Do you have any data, any of you? Tell me some upper spec value. Imagine,
100. 100.
imagine, yeah, your 100 lower spec.
80.
Okay,
80.
let's say, okay, 80, yeah. Let me say 60, because 60 is your pass mark, right? 60 is your pass mark, 100 is the maximum mark. Now you understand the upper spec and lower spec. Imagine we did a pilot exam. We did a pilot exam and we got some data. The data is class average. Can you tell me a number for class average?
90.
Oh, that means you people are now scoring very high. Class average is 90. I have typed 90. And standard deviation of your test mark. Let me say standard deviation is also very, very less. Just 3 marks. So do you understand? Upper spec is 100. Lower spec is 60.
100.
Class average is 90. Class standard deviation is 3. Now I want to understand our process capability. So here 90. Here how much I should put? 3. Now, what is our CP? What is our CPK? Look at our CPK. CPK
Process
is,
not capable, sir. Process
yeah.
not capable.
Yes, yes. Okay. Yes, it is not capable. You are right, technically. However, it is just above 1. Above 1. If you think, passing closer to the border is risky, then definitely no, we don't consider this as a capability. Now imagine, let me shift the mean. Let me say the mean is shifted to 65. Now look at your CPK. When the class average is shifted to 65, that means some students have started scoring, below pass mark. Can you see that? That is why your CPK is going down. Isn't it? If I increase the process center, now my CPK is going up. And similarly, when I reduce the standard deviation, that also will get me improvement. You understand? So always to get a process capable, we need our process to be exactly at the center between USL and LSL. So that will give you further improvement. Let me put 80 here. You can see further improvement. When the process is exactly at the center, your CP and CPK will become same, which is the ultimate scenario. Always you must try to match CPK with the CP. And when I further reduce, my capability is going, very high. If I increase the standard deviation to 2, it's coming down. When I make it to 3, it will further go down. When I make it to 4, it might further go down. And one more possibility is if the center is shifted, let's say 80 is shifted negatively to 70, I will lose some more capability. Do you understand? So this is how your CP and CPK are indicating your process capability. So I want all of you to practice all these activities 6, 7, and 8. And manual is there. Your book is there. And Excel template is also there. Now you can learn a lot by playing with it, right? So that's it from me for the day. Thank you so much for joining the evening also. So this will definitely, help us to discuss properly on the upcoming Saturday, Sunday. Upcoming Saturday, one more trainer will be meeting you. One Mr. Vinod Shankaran, another master black belt in our team. He will be meeting you. And Sunday, I will be meeting all of you at the Gindi campus. All right. So any point, any question before we close the meeting?
Sir, in the Excel mentioned some sigma
என்ன சார் எக்ஸல் ஃபைல் இன்னொரு வாட்டி ஷேர் பண்ணவா?
இல்ல சிக்மா அப்படின்றதுல சிக்மா வித்தின் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஏதோ ஒரு கமெண்ட் இருக்கு.
ஆமா அது வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க, நான் அப்புறமா சொல்லித்தரேன். சிக்மான்றதுல வந்து நான் சிக்மா மட்டும் தான் இது நம்ம பேசியிருக்கோம். சிக்மாலேயே பல விதமான சிக்மா இருக்கு. சிக்மா வித்தின் ஒன்னு இருக்கு, சிக்மா பிட்வீன் ஒன்னு இருக்கு, சிக்மா ஓவரால்னு ஒன்னு இருக்கு. இப்போதைக்கு சிக்மா தான். We'll discuss, definitely we'll discuss. சரிங்களா?
ஓகே
சார்
கொஞ்சம் வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க நாகராஜ்.
சார்
என்ன சார்?
சிபி சிபிகேக்கு நம்ம குவாண்டிட்டி எப்படி சார் ஷார்ட் டைம் ப்ராசஸ்க்கு லாங் டைம் ப்ராசஸ்க்கு ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்றேன்?
ஷார்ட் டேர்ம் லாங் டேர்ம்ன்றது வந்து இசட்டுக்கு தான் உண்டு. இசட் எஸ்டி இசட் எல்டின்னு. சரிங்களா?
ஓகே.
சிபி சிபிகே பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் வெறும் ஷார்ட் டேர்ம் தான் அது. லாங் டேர்முக்கு என்ன பண்ணுவோம்னா we call it as PP and PPK. Long term we call it as PP and PPK. We'll discuss it at the higher level. முதல்ல CP and CPK நம்ம டைஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிடணும். All right? Okay. சரி. I think you had some good learning today. We learned about yield. We learned about DPMO. We also learned about CP and CPK. Yield, how many types we have seen? Three types of yield. Traditional yield, first pass yield, rolled throughput yield. Yeah. So rolled throughput yield comes into picture when processes are linked. When the output of one process becomes input for the next process, that's the time we should go for RTY. And for calculation of RTY, for every stage of the process, we must use first pass yield and not the traditional yield. Because the traditional yield has a limitation. It doesn't take into account the rework. But the first pass yield takes into account the rejected units as well as the reworked unit. So first pass yield is better than the traditional yield. And DPMO, we had three situations. One situation, opportunity for error or defect is known. Another situation, situation number 2, opportunity for error or defect is unknown. Third situation, number of defectives is known. So we use the Excel calculator and then we find out the DPMO as well as ZST, ZLT. Now finally we learned CP, CPK also, and CP, CPK must be used when our data type is continuous. Diameter, cycle time, right? And kiloweight, surface finish. And these are all the characteristics, temperature, pressure. These are all the characteristics for which continuous, data is used. So we can use CP, CPK. Requirement is CPK must be more than 1.67 and CP and CPK must be equal, right? So that is the thing. So CP indicates the consistency, CPK indicates the capability. Always CPK will be lower than CP. These are our learnings. So with that, we conclude for the today's class and then we'll be meeting in the next class. All right.